Well, good people. Welcome to Who's to Blame, the podcast. I'm your host, Dre Montez, and we're being brought to you by a title sponsor, the Weed Squad St. Louis. Don't forget, you can get caught up on your latest episodes of the podcast by going to wherever you listen to your podcast at on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Anchor, Podbean as well. But visit www.dremontez.com today. Get caught up on the sponsors as well as the shows itself. If you would like to make a donation to the show, there's a button on there for you as well. Be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. But Happy New Year to you. It's our first podcast of the 2022 year. 21 went by fast, didn't it? Went by fast. I think 1989 went by fast. I can't believe how fast 1989 went by. But man, what a year it has been. And one thing people always try to mention or bring up about the new year is how excited they are to a new year, a new chapter in life, go to the next phase, how bad the previous years were. But do you have a year that went by? And you're like, that wasn't a bad year. And that's like one of my best years ever. There were a few years like that in my 51 years. Not all 51 have been horrible years. No way possible. But I think out of all the 51 I've been a part of, 50, I'm sorry, maybe 3 have been like really bad, awful years. For the rest of it, pretty damn awesome. I'll tell you that right there. Pretty damn awesome. But it is the Way Back Wednesday edition of Who's to Blame, the podcast. And this is episode 470. Wow. Getting close to our 500 episode. And with that being said, I think it's time to reflect on those conversations again that we've had with our kids and our fathers have had with us and we've had with our kids when it comes to understanding the hand you're being dealt. And I want to talk to these athletes right now. I mean, it seems as though it's reciprocating itself again about things they try to tell you when you leave home about becoming older, getting wiser, getting educated, getting better at your craft in whatever perspective sport it may be. There's something that's always going to be there that someone has always tried to tell you about. It's called women. It's called sex. It's called premarital sex. It's called having kids out of wedlock. It's called being a baby daddy. It's called being in a fucked up situation at a young age. And not many kids are equipped to handle that. And it seems as though it's happening again. With all of the attention on finally getting back out and getting fans in the stands, getting these kids to get back to playing ball, male and female, being happy again, not being held in a bubble, being able to express yourself, getting on the court, whatever it may be, you need that. And the opportunity for that to happen is there. And it's also there with the opportunity now with NIL to really take the money out of the equation when it comes to you going to a respectable college or university. It is kind of taking the bag out of the hand of the relative getting in trouble. Uncle Ray had to go up under the bridge and get the bag with $200,000 cash in it no more. Your mom doesn't have to go and get a job where she's not qualified no more and get paid $175 an hour up front. Those days are over with this NIL. But this NIL has also created other issues when it comes to understanding your influence, understanding your platform. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that. And I think more than ever now, you need the right people around these young athletes, these young scholastic people. You need the right people around them. And there's something that is always going to be there no matter what. Sex. And it's coming in droves. It's happening in ways that you couldn't ever imagine. It's out of your hands. There are parents going through this right now that do not understand how to get this message through to their kid I know as bad as you want this, it's still going to be there. If it gets in the middle of the distraction, things are going to happen that you're going to wonder in 10 years, why did I let this happen? Because you're not want to listen. Every young kid in America has said this. You don't know what you're talking about. Everybody has said that to their parents or older person, a mentor. Everyone has said that. You don't know. You don't understand. You just don't understand. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's so deep. I found this out through a documentary. There are over 4,000 people involved to make you. Let that sink in. Just in your family. I'm about to actually make you. This is way beyond mom and dad doing the oochie coochie. That was a fun word back in the day, the oochie coochie. Say it with me on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Oochie coochie. But it's more than that involved. And when people try to tell you, hey, value this thing, honor this thing called life. I know as bad as you want to get some oochie coochie and fit in and belong, let's do this thing the right way. Let's do this thing the right way. We all knew someone that had a kid at the age of 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We all knew people like that. Did you learn from them? Did it make you want to have a kid because you saw your 12-year-old friend being a mama or dad? Did that make you want to go out and have a kid? Did it? But now with the opportunities, the platform is totally different. The grabbing of the bag method is even more feasible than ever before. It's there. But that sex is out there to capture you and bring you down. Like the Kardashians have done. It will bring you down. That's that little limelight of fame that you're looking for. But if you're really trying to ball out, trying to get your dream out there, uplift your neighborhood the right way, that distraction right there would tear it all the way down. And now with social media being the way it is, you got young ladies out here making videos telling you what to do. Girl, go out here and have yourself a baby by an athlete because they stupid and dumb. Wow. Wow. That's where we're at. That is the new Scholastics of America after school special. It should be just as raw as she put it in that video. Have a kid by an athlete, they stupid. They just gonna give you the money. The mentality on both sides of that whole sentence is fucked up. But a woman actually said that. And then since then, the rebuttal, whether it's on social media, but the actions that have happened since then, unsettling. Unsettling. Just passing out condoms is enough anymore. Telling stories of age is not enough anymore. Let's share the story that people would really, really pay attention to. You ain't gonna have shit. Share that story. Don't scare them with facts about what can happen if you only 99% of people will get pregnant from a condom. Fuck that story. Well, you're gonna have AIDS if you don't strap it up. Fuck that story. Talk about the money. I guarantee they listen in. I guarantee. Here's what happened if you're a projected high projectile athlete. Let's put it like that, because that's where everybody paying attention to right now. You got to talk to them on their terms. So on your terms, at the rate that you're going playing ball, you could be making $265 million of projected income your first 5 years in the league. But if you have a kid before wedding, before wedlock, that is going to turn into $11 million. And you washing out of the league within 4. How many are you going to listen then? So you have to bring the real numbers to them. Let's have the real athletes who have made money, but learn the hard way by having kids out of wedlock. Let's go. Look at how many, it's crazy. They think it's a game. It's not a game. Well, you have some kids that think having kids is a game today. They're gambling on each other. How many kids they're going to have by the time they both turn 21. What the fuck? How is that a game? That's real life. It doesn't start there. It doesn't end there. This is a continual life cycle when it comes to the sex game with the African-American black athlete. They think it's a fucking joke. But each and every year, we're hearing these stories, laughing about them, pointing finger, try to tell that motherfucker. We need to try to tell them a little harder because they're not listening. And then once they get to messing with your money, you can't play the game you want to play now. Now you're stressing out over this, over that. Now you got your new woman who don't have any kids. Now you got that issue. All that shit goes into play with you trying to go out here and play and win the game and concentrate. You got to get a hit. You got to score a basket. You got to get a goal. You got to do this. You got to do that. You can't do all that bullshit up here. That's in the movies. They can block all that out. Release the mechanism. Bullshit. If your child right now in that other room sleep, because their ass lazy, it's after 12, they still sleep. If they lazy ass still in their sleep, wake their ass up and have that uncomfortable talk. Son, how many chicks you fucking right now? What's going on? Go ahead and have that talk. What are you trying to do? You trying to have a kid or you trying to play ball? You trying to have a kid, you trying to have a career. You trying to have a kid, you trying to get out of this life cycle that your family seems to be in, that we all live around the block from each other in the hood. What are you trying to do here, son? Talk to me. Because if you are trying to do anything, you having a kid at the age of 15 is not helping in the cycle at all. No, your parents not raising your kid. Your aunt, your grandma, your uncle, the people down the street. No, this is all on you. So how can we stop that issue? Because it's getting out of hand again. It's getting out of hand again. And it's only going to get worse because now that NIL money, guess what, people? That's public information now. So guess who can find that out? Them thoughts and training. You have to be real with your kid. If not, you're going to be having this discussion. Well, we tried to instill the best values we could. But at some point, you got to let a kid be a kid and a young man be a young man. Bullshit. There's certain attributes that go along with that verbiage. Young man, young grown person, wanting to be grown, doing what's right. I don't know too many people that are 50 years old that can turn around and say, hey, I'm glad at 15 I was a grown-ass man. Fuck that. 15 treat me like a kid. I'm a kid. I'm a child. Nobody 15 wants to be grown. Nobody 16 wants to be grown. 17, 18, 19. Hell, I even go to 21. They don't want to be grown. They want to be kids. So in that same note, we have kids out here doing grown people shit, acting like kids. We got to protect them. You got to have that talk. You got to have the right people around you. Everybody can spot out and point out the person that's trying to take an advantage of them in their own house right away. You can spot that out right away. Now, that's hard, trying to get someone in your own family away from you as you're trying to do better for yourself and the family. That's a hard thing to pull off without causing any quote unquote animosity toward each other. But it's going to happen. You got to have that uncomfortable conversation right now. This is beyond birds and the bees. This is beyond the oochie coochie. This is talking about, to your kid, are you sure you want to be with this woman? Are you sure you want to have a kid before you marry with this woman? You sure? Because on this side over here, we got this college, this university. We have a projectile talent value going on over here. And over here, You got somebody else that has their own ulterior motive when it comes to the financial stability of them. So how are you supposed to handle this? How are you supposed to handle this? You got to have the men and women got to have this talk with the young male and female and their family when it comes to that. This is not going to be normal income. This kid is not going to no 9-to-5 job. This kid is going to be a major network. This kid is going to be in the major sports factor out there. This is not a normal conversation you can have. If you got pussy on the brain, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. If you got dick on the mind, it's not going to work. Not going to last long at all. It's up to you right now to figure out what you want to do. I wish there was a channel, a network that these kids can just tap the button, hit the button and see what could happen if I do this. What's the worst that could happen if I have 3 kids before I'm 18? What the fuck? You really want to look at that equation? Let's look at what we don't have. Education, a car, a license, consistent income. So now here comes the illegal activity. Here comes the underlining. Here comes the lying. Here comes the manipulation. All that goes in with you just trying to be grown. Back in the day, they used to always ask you this question in school. Where do you see yourself in so many years? What would you like to do for a career? What does it take to do what you want to do in your career? What would you do if it was this? How would you get out of this scenario? They used to give you all kind of things to deal with in school coming up. Some they were talked about, some you just wrote about. But either way, they need to bring those back. This is beyond the scared straight of going to prison. But to be a young 18-year-old with multiple kids, and you're also trying to fit with, hold on. Multiple kids by multiple women at 18 years old. Yeah, that is still going on. But at the same time, you want me now to think about where I'm going for college? I can't leave my babies. I got to stay close to home. May not be the best opportunity for me with this college or university in my town, but I'm going to stay close to my babies. Okay, we get that. Now let's think about moving further. Now we're up a few years. Now here comes the whole punch here. Turning pro. Now it's out of your hands on where you play pro ball at. Uh-oh. Whoa. What we're going to do now? Now here come the arguments and all kind of problems right now. Uh-oh. The unthinkable happens. Child support. Uh-oh. The unthinkable happens. Alimony. Oh, God. Now they messing with my money. Oh, no. You're messing with your money. That's it. They're not. You are. You think this is a game. And then you wonder why certain athletes are just focused so much on ball. It's to keep that bullshit out the way. It will bring you down. And the more truthful and honest you are with your kid about this, I'm telling you, this is the best situation you can have. I don't think it's too early or too late to talk about the responsibilities of sex right now with your kid. I really don't. There is no too early. You got 5-year-olds writing code now. The longer you wait to have that real talk. Now, do you know what happens when your dad not go in the room and close the door? Not that shit. This is not Lucille Ball. No. Get in there, have the real talk. And if you let your son or daughter have company of the opposite sex and they get to close the door and spend the night and you cool with that, you're a part of the problem too. You got to be real with these kids. Just because a kid paying a damn note around the house or a bill around the house doesn't mean they're grown. They're still kids. And when I saw these numbers about all these kids who are, quote unquote, being set up by these thought chasers out there that they're calling themselves, that are chasing the bag on these up and coming athletes, how nobody else is seeing this? You're going to let it happen. You're just going to let it happen. Some things just, wait a minute. You from this whole town your whole life. Where this girl come from? Ain't nobody ever seen her at church, Junebug, or nothing. Where this girl come from? Do your homework. This is still your child. Still your, oh, he he always get those pretty women. Okay. They're faster, they're stronger, they're smarter, they're computer literate. They know more shit about your kid than you know about your own kid. They know more about them than they know about themselves. Because of what? The internet, social media. The less you put out there, the less they know. You don't need to have the number one Instagram account to be the number one pick. You don't need to have the best looking, have the hottest looking ride to be a top pick. No. Go do your job. Go do your job. You need this social media restraints being put on, right? I say after 10th grade. No. After the age of 10, you should not have a social media account again. If I have a kid or a relative that I know is about to go that way in sports, academics, in life, whatever it may be, after the age of 10, no more social media for you. You're done. That is not the focal point right now. Let's focus on the task at hand. And right now, the task at hand seems to be IG due to the what? The professional athletes. They're making IG the it factor. Well, let's look and see how many of them have gotten in trouble due to IG. Oh, nobody wants to talk about that. So these kids right now are being faced with the pressures of the name, imaging, and licensing effect. The bowl game situation. Bowl worthy or get ready for Sunday. Baseball, we still got to figure out a shorter path to the progress. That's still a hell of a ride. You got to be really, really, really good in baseball to get past the bullshit. Don't give them the opportunity. We got to have that conversation with those kids, that uncomfortable talk. Be real. Talk about the putty. Talk about the trials and tribulations out there of becoming grown. When you're on television, when you're on social media platforms, when people know your face, they're coming. And it's not a good thing, the way that they're coming. They're coming with pregnancy on the mind. They're coming with having a kid on the mind. They're coming with the plan to get them out of their current situation, not the child's. And it's a damn shame that the way that this is going on and nobody's saying a thing yet. Where's the Dateline special on this? Where's the 2020? Where's ESPN? Where's Fox Sports? Where's HBU Sports brings you this? Let me tell y'all what's going on. These women are giving up the goods. It's not just the young women. I'm talking 30 plus, man. They are out here getting it into these young kids, getting them, trying to get the bag. Look at the photos of some of these young men being caught with. Why is that woman at this event? Why? I don't get it. And in 5 years, we're going to be, man, I wonder what happened. I wonder what. They got caught up. It's easy to say no when you've had it. I get it, kids. I get it. Well, Dad, you don't know me. You don't understand. It's different out here right now. Yeah. I'm quite sure it was different in the 70s, the 80s, 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s. All that shit was different then. But in the end, it got everybody the same way. Some good things came out of those situations, but look at what you had to go through to understand the learning curve of the situation. And that's the thing. The opportunity value right now for today's scholar athlete is probably the best situation I've ever known it to be in, ever. And you can't fuck this up by going out here and impregnating multiple women. Multiple babies don't make you a multiple better man. That's the dumbest shit ever. I got 9 kids and shit, man. I'm an OG. No, the fuck you not. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. 9 kids mean like, yeah, listen, nobody. Nobody. And I know more than, oh man, I know a lot of people with a lot of kids. But for as young people with multiple kids, I met a young man 25 years old over the break that has 7 kids. He think it's a joke. He think it's a joke. And here's the other crazy thing. He was a top athlete here in the St. Louis region in basketball. Never left home. I'm talking Kentucky, Duke, Carolina, Kansas. He went to all these schools on recruiting visits. Didn't go to one. He's 25 and he looks 45. Those are the topics, those are the talks that need to be happening right now with these young men and women about to go off to school. And nobody's having them. Nobody. If you listen to a majority of athletes that are 25 and up, and they talk to you about sex, who told them about it? How did they learn about it? What do they think about it? What is responsible sex to them? You'd be amazed. You'd be freaking amazed what they think of responsible sex is. But the fact that the mind of today's female is on that one little live video that young lady made, go out here and get a baby by an athlete, girl. They dumb and stupid. That should be an uprising. That should be a movement by young male athletes across America that goes against that little viral video and expose the truth. We're not falling for this shit no more. That's what I want to hear. Let's go. I want to change the whole demographics on the statistic of Black male parents. I say by 2025, let's change this. Let's change this whole thing on us. Let's make it feel like the average parent is 25. Let's change that. Let's get into that and see what happens. It's going to take a lot of work, but I think we can do it. I think it can be done. But it's going to take education. It's going to take feedback, some data, content, and a follow-up. And until then, it's just going to be, it's crazy. Let's protect our boys. Let's protect these young women as well, going off into college as well. There's both sides of this as well. There are men and women out here doing some very manipulative things to have a baby by an athlete. Who's to blame? You tell me, kids. You tell me. But until then, until the next time, we'll be talking again. But thanks for tuning in to Who's to Blame, the podcast. I'm your host, Dre Montez. Until next time, I will holla at you later for sure. But man, that's some wild. That is some wild ever since I saw that whole story and the way that this is coming up and happening. I mean, it's bad enough all the shit you got to go through raising a teenager. But when they're getting offered some major colleges and universities and opportunities for this and that and getting clothing and shoe line opportunities at a very young age, they got to think about that between the ages of 15 and 18 years old right now. And now you want to throw pregnancy in there too? Whew. Let's stay strong together. Let's stay strong together, good people. All right.